Kagan Neen is a Lloydminster man who has been running to raise money for the men's shelter. I had the opportunity to sit down and talk with him about his run. I'm joined here today with Kagan Neen, who's been running from the Alberta-BC border all the way to the Saskatchewan-Manitoba border to raise money for the men's shelter here in Lloydminster. So Kagan, can you give us an update on the run so far?
It's going really well. I'm super impressed with how much money we've raised so far and the awareness. We're getting a lot of conversations, it sounds like, in the city of Lloydminster as well as surrounding communities, as well as the communities that we're stopping at, having more conversations about unhoused challenges and that kind of stuff with different communities across both provinces. So it's been going really well from an awareness perspective. My body is definitely not enjoying it so much. I think it's getting a little bit tired over 1,000 kilometers in, but we're making do.
Can you give us some highlights of the run so far?
Some of the highlights. There's so many things that have happened that I haven't either talked about. There's some things that I have talked about, like touring the shelters in Edmonton was absolutely eye-opening. Hearing some of their best practices, how long they've been operational. But so that was definitely a highlight, touring the shelters. I'm very excited to tour the shelter here in Yorkton in a couple days here as well. One thing that I hadn't actually talked about was, like, when you're running, you're so focused at just getting to a destination, you kind of sometimes forget to look at everything else that's going around. And the one time I glanced down and I'm running and it was just outside of Edson and I saw a wallet and I was like, oh, well, that's weird. So I flagged mom over and I tossed the wallet in the car and I was like, we need to find the owner for this. So it was awesome because it had Quebec ID. So we're like, well, what are the likelihoods? So I found them on Facebook and they're still in Edmonton. So the day that we ran through Edmonton, I was actually able to get that wallet back to the gentleman. He actually missed his flight because he didn't have his ID. He didn't have any money or any of that kind of stuff. So he was just couch surfing for a couple of weeks. So it was really nice to actually have that good news story as well, just from running on Highway 16.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you're running for here and what Running for Shelter is doing to help out?
So the whole purpose of this is to drive awareness for the first part, but then obviously it's a capital fundraising campaign. So we need more money so that we can actually purchase a new building. We only have 28 beds, but we actually serve about 250 individuals. So there's a significant demand, and not just demand for beds, but also a demand for more wraparound services so that we can really focus on housing and trying to get into transitional housing as compared to just being an emergency shelter. Not everybody is comfortable staying in shelter facilities. So the intent of this fundraiser as well is for us to be able to create an outdoor space that is welcoming to everybody, regardless if you're staying in a shelter or not in a shelter, but it's got gazebos and water fountains and washroom facilities, because that's going to also give everyone a safe place to be as compared to feeling like walking around downtown or on other people's properties. So it'll just help create a better community as well for the city of Lloydminster. And that's what I'm really hoping that community members as well as businesses can help us get to that goal so that we can actually help clean up the community, but also provide proper services and support for our unhoused community members.
When you were back in Lloydminster last week for the barbecue, did being in Lloydminster while you were on your run, did it help you really see the impact of what you're doing on this run?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. And what I really appreciate is that it was actually an article that was in the source stating that the buses and the shipments of unhoused individuals are being shipped to Lloydminster. It was finally debunked because there was a lot of different agencies that came back and said, no, this isn't actually happening. So it's really nice to hear that other agencies and organizations and community members are all starting to get involved and have those conversations.
Well, that's all the questions I have for today. Thank you, Kagan.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me.
A disc golf tournament and family story time are just two of the events taking place this weekend. I have more on this week's edition of What's Happening. Anybody interested in disc golf can head down to Kit Scotty at their disc golf course there and participate in the Lakeland Open Disc Golf Tournament. Should be a good time. All ages are welcome to participate. There'll be 3 rounds and it'll be tomorrow and Sunday, and the winner will take home some nice prize money. If you and your family love story time, why not head to the Lloydminster Public Library tomorrow at 10:30 and participate in the family story time from 10:30 to 11. After that, the library will be having a makerspace where they'll be doing a fun craft. For those who love the thrill of motocross, they can head to the Lucas Bachman Memorial Raceway tomorrow for the shootout races. They're both tomorrow and Sunday. Should be an exciting time with lots of motocross action. Whatever you choose to do this weekend, just make sure to stay safe and have fun.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
So we still have some of that nice summer weather here in Lloydminster. Be good weather for those events this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. I actually am looking forward to that disc golf. That sounds like a great time. Certainly it'll be sunny throughout a few of these days. We may be seeing a bit of clouds though, but it's definitely going to be similar to today in terms of sun over the weekend. We might be seeing it cool off a little bit as we get into next weekend and into those September temperatures as we finish out August here. But for so far, it looks like it's going to be a great second last weekend here for August, or I guess it's truly the final weekend in August here. But taking a look at the almanac for today, a high of 27 degrees, real nice and warm today, low of 15. That's plenty better than the usuals of 21 degrees and a low of 7. Still looking for probably a little bit more rain here, though most of our crop producers have had their crop in for a while and are probably looking to start harvesting right now. So it might be a little late, too late for that. Taking a look at the temperature right now in the Lloydminster Airport, they're sitting at 26 degrees with a bit of mix of sun and cloud, and that humidity down quite a bit from the large amount of humidity we felt earlier in this week after that big rainstorm. Taking a look out in Saskatchewan, North Battleford sitting at 27 degrees, mix of sun and cloud for them as well. And taking a look at Cold Lake, they're sitting at 27 degrees as well. Nice and sunny out there, no clouds for them, and so a real nice day out in Cold Lake up north. Taking a look at the current temperatures across the region, we're seeing very similar temperatures. Lloydminster, as mentioned, at that 26. We've got Marwayne, St. Paul, Vermilion, and Wainwright all at 26, and then similar to Cold Lake at 27, we've got Vegreville and Provost. We go up north, Lac La Biche sitting at 28 degrees, similar to Edmonton, just straight out west for 28 degrees for them as well. On the Saskatchewan side, up north, we've got Isle La Crosse, Green Lake, and Meadow Lake, all at 26, as well as St. Walburg, and then down south, North Battleford, also at 26. Maidstone at 25 today, and Macklin, a little bit warmer at 29 degrees for today. For tonight's forecast in North Battleford, they're going to be seeing it be mostly cloudy and breezy and a strong thunderstorm late. So a low of 15 degrees, 55% chance of precipitation, but we're definitely going to be seeing a little bit of thunder, a little bit of lightning possibly tonight in Saskatchewan out in North Battleford and area. Cold Lake is going to be seeing, it's going to be clear early, but then we're going to see some increasing clouds with a strong thunderstorm for them as well in the area late. 40% chance of precipitation there as well, and a low of 14 degrees. And here in Lloydminster, we're also going to be mostly cloudy and mild, a thunderstorm in spots late, a low of 15 degrees. So there may be some thunderstorms throughout the region. You may not feel it, but certainly in Lloydminster and area, there's going to be some thunderstorms, 40% chance of precipitation as well. Taking a look now at the 3-day forecast, we're going to see some decreasing clouds, and it's going to get warm on Saturday, a high of 27 degrees, so a nice start to your weekend there, a low of 10. Then on Sunday, it'll cool down a little bit, 22 degrees, and it's going to be pretty breezy, mostly cloudy, a low of 9 as well there. On Monday, it's going to be pleasant with plenty of sun and a high of 26 degrees and a low of 11, so a real nice look there for your weekend and into Monday there. Nice temperatures throughout. But for now, we're going to have our next look at the weather later on in the show, but for now, we're going to have some news headlines coming up after the break.
The Lloydminster Bobcats are now back to work as their main camp begins today. Our Thomas Wildman went down to the Centennial Civic Center to learn more.
Bobcats, both old and new, are in the Centennial Civic Center after the summer break, getting back into the swing of things with their training camp.
There's a lot of excitement around the rink today, and exciting. It's one of those, the build up for it and whatnot, and then the day's upon us. So it's the official kickoff really for the 24-25 season, and just a lot of energy starting things off here this morning, and looking forward to a great weekend.
Just because it's the first practices doesn't mean they are less intense, as head coach Jeff Wojciechowski and assistant coach Matt Broussard are expecting hard work from the players.
Look at the first skate this morning, and the tone was set of what the expectations are, and you got two NHLers out there, and you see two coaches that are moving out there. The energy's high based on what they're doing, and I think that's something that we didn't have, and we're excited to have here now this year is the activeness of the coaches, their player coaches, but they're getting a lot out of these guys.
The Bobcats will have 2 more days of camp, which will finish off with their All-Star game. Thomas Wildman, Primetime, local news.
Keen Cat Rescue is a non-profit organization here in Lloyd. They're holding a barbecue fundraiser to raise money for operation needs. Abby St. John has more.
I'm joined here by 2 familiar faces today, Nicole Theriault and Candice Lechterman. They are fundraising volunteers for an upcoming fundraiser for a cat rescue here in the Border City. Thank you both so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Now, this is for a rescue in town called Keen Cat Rescue. It's going to be a barbecue fundraiser for them. But before we get into talking about the barbecue, can you tell me a little bit about what Keen Cat Rescue is for people who may not have ever heard of it?
So the name kind of trips you up because Vera Lynn runs the rescue, and it's not just cats, it's dogs. I'm pretty sure she's handed with every type of animal she can. And she's been doing it for years, basically out of her own pocket, and kind of partners with other rescues right across the board, transports animals from here to Edmonton, BC, everywhere. She helps so many people. Like, it's unreal.
And, having this rescue, of course, is so vital in this community and in surrounding communities as well. And we're seeing more and more rescues kind of spark up because shelters across the whole province, both provinces, are being filled to capacity. So people are being stretched thin, and these rescues are being stretched thin. So it's amazing that we do have these rescues like Keen Cat Rescue here in the city. Now, you guys are helping hold a fundraiser for this rescue. Tell me a little bit about the purpose of this barbecue and what people can expect when they come out.
So yeah, we are going to be having the barbecue on September 7th from 11 to 2, and we've actually partnered with Groomer Has It. Dana over there is amazing. She's also a very big supporter of Vera Lynn as well. I know they've kind of worked together in the past, so we'll be having it in Groomer Has It's parking lot. We're hoping to get something like a silent auction maybe going. I mean, we'll have more details in the next week to follow with that. But yeah, the purpose is basically to help her out with costs. I mean, Vera Lynn pays for, to get the animals vaccinated, neutered, transportation to BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan. She's got quite a bit of connections with different rescues. So it's really nice that she can get them in, because unfortunately we really only have the one main rescue here, and they're always full, unfortunately, because they take Lloydminster and the surrounding areas. So she kind of takes the animals that can't get into the shelter here in town. So yeah, we just want to raise some money for her and show her that the community really supports her and appreciates everything she does for us. Also, to add, we're also going to be having for sure nail trims. So if you want to bring your furry friends down to get nail trims, Dana is very creative. She also is planning on doing some nail art maybe on your dog. So, if you want to get your dog's nails painted, you could definitely do that too. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a great barbecue, and I know the two of you are fantastic at fundraising events as you guys have a ton of experience. So I know this day is just going to be excellent. And like you said, it is so vital for these rescues as non-for-profit organizations. They need those funds from the community and they need that support. So it's amazing that you guys are willing and able to help. And you mentioned silent auction items, and you kind of want to get that finalized. And if anybody is interested in giving silent auction items, how can they do so, or who do they have to contact?
So they can contact either me or Candace, or even directly at Groomer Has It. You can give them a call, and Dana will make sure that, you know, somebody can get those items. Even if you need us to pick it up, one of us will figure out a way to come get it. And yeah, so if anybody wants to, please reach out to us, either me or Candace or Dana at Groomer Has It.
And on the poster, I also noticed that there are a list of wish list items. Tell me a little bit about that, and if you guys want people to donate those items or how that will work.
We're because she transports to BC constantly. She's always in need of gas gift cards, even kennels sometimes, and well, obviously food.
Food. I mean, also, I know she's looking for like specialty food because a lot of the cases she takes on are pretty sick animals. So any gastro food would really help, as well as she takes a lot of babies. So I mean, any milk supplement is perfect, the KRM. So if you actually go on the poster, we'll have a list of all the things there. And we're actually doing something kind of fun. If you bring one of the items on our donation list, we're giving either a complimentary hot dog or a hamburger to say thank you.
Wonderful, because sometimes
and they are looking for sponsors and donations of food too to help us out.
So if any businesses want to, you know, give us a gift card that we can put towards getting some food, that would be amazing as well.
Wonderful. This does sound like it's going to be amazing. And just one more time for people, when is it happening? Where is it happening? And what time is it taking place?
So it'll be September 7th, and Groomer Has It here in Lloydminster, and it is from 11 to 2.
Wonderful.
And rain or shine, we're going to do it.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I wish you the best of luck for this fundraising barbecue.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Now let's take a look at your pets of the day.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
The Parkinson's Association of Alberta is gearing up for their annual 2024 Step in Stride. Our Callan Dunlop has more on the annual fundraiser.
Today I'm joined by Lana, who is the Executive Director of the Parkinson's Association of Alberta, and today we're talking about the upcoming 2024 Step in Stride. And to start, can you talk to me about what Step in Stride is all about?
So Step in Stride is a walk, a fundraising walk and run. And the name is a bit funny simply because you don't have to walk, you don't have to run. You can use your walker or a cane or in a wheelchair or on your bike, whatever works for you. And it really is an opportunity for the community to get together, support people living with Parkinson's disease and their families, and raise a little bit of money for important work that improves the quality of life for these folks every day.
When did this initiative start?
This is our 12th annual event. It happens in 9 locations across the province, and this year we added Yellowknife as well. So it's a busy September for us, but we sure enjoy it. It's a great opportunity for us to get out and visit with our clients.
And how has the general reception been?
It's been great. You know, even through the pandemic, we still saw people coming out or doing little walks in their community, you know, as they could. And really people find this the one event of the year that is about them and for them, and they're really proud of it, and they're really happy to come out and happy to support each other in the community. That's what it's all about, really, is people supporting each other who are living with this very complicated, very challenging journey of Parkinson's disease.
What's new for Step and Stride this year in Lloydminster?
Yeah, so we're still at Bud Miller Park, which we have been, but last year we were in a different location and there wasn't a shelter. So we're back in the original location, and I think that will make everybody happy.
Why do you think this is so important to have?
It brings awareness to Parkinson's disease, and I think people think about, who do we know with Parkinson's disease, and they might think about Michael J. Fox. And Michael J. Fox is a unique circumstance, and certainly one that he's gone through the whole journey of Parkinson's because he was diagnosed so long ago. But he doesn't represent everybody, and everybody's disease is very individual. It's very specific to them, and they can experience different symptoms at different times, and they're not always things that you can see. And so we want to make sure that people understand that living with Parkinson's disease is not easy, and the support of the whole community is really helpful and necessary in order to make sure that they do have a good quality of life, because it is a long standing disease. It can last 20, 30, 40 years. And so these people really need to come together with each other, people who understand where they're coming from, what they're going through, but also the rest of the community as well.
Lastly, how do people support this who want to get involved?
Yeah, you can visit parkinsonassociation.cl. The information is there. So you can link to our Step and Stride website. You can find out more information. I think what's really important is, this is not an organization that's government funded. It's 100% supported by the community, whether that's corporations or foundations, but largely individuals, $50 at a time, $25 at a time. And so it really is, you think that you can't give much, or you can't, your little amount won't matter to anybody. It really does. And so even if you wanted to come out and volunteer, spend your time, or just see what it's all about. There's no minimum amount of donation required. You just come out and have fun and get to know some really cool people.
Well, that covers all of my questions for today. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk about this.
Coming up after the break, we're going to get a wild look at weather with Thomas Wildman.
Welcome back, everybody. And so we do have some wild weather coming up here on the future radar, as we can see some massive systems moving through the southern parts of both provinces. Once we get the reset here on Saturday, we're going to see on Calgary, that's where the big system is coming through tonight. It's going to be coming all the way up to Lloydminster as well. Maybe not as big as these systems that are coming through Calgary and Red Deer and area. And then as we look on the Saskatchewan side, Saskatoon and Regina are going to get hit hard as we get into Saturday morning, and that'll continue on out into Manitoba. So some really big weather systems and rain coming through over the next 24 hours here. And so very exciting times here. Taking a look at the current temperatures across the central region, we've got Lloydminster at 25 degrees right now, Cold Lake at 26. Also at 26 degrees is Athabasca and Rocky Mountain House. Edmonton sitting at one of the warmer places here, 28, as well as Jasper at that mark. Red Deer 27, and then Whitecourt and Edson both at 24. On the Saskatchewan side, we got 26 for Meadow Lake and North Battleford, 27 down in Saskatoon, 23 in Melfort, and 24 in Prince Albert. Taking a look up north, we've got a little bit warmer temperatures. Uranium City and Stony Rapids at 25 degrees, Wollaston Lake at 23, North End Reindeer at 22, as well as Flin Flon at 22, and then Buffalo Narrows at 26, as well as Lelouch. On the Alberta side, we got Fort Chipewyan at 28 degrees, Fort McMurray at 29, Slave Lake at 25, Grand Prairie at 26, Peace River at 27, and then high level a little cooler at 19 degrees for today. Down in the southern part of the provinces, Medicine Hat sitting at 29 degrees, Coronation at 27, Lethbridge at 28, 26 for Calgary, and 25 for Banff. And then on the Saskatchewan side, 29 for Kindersley and Swift Current, 27 for Moose Jaw and Estevan, Regina at 28, and Yorkton at 25. Taking a look at tomorrow's forecast in Lloydminster, at 6 a.m. we're going to be at 15 degrees. It's going to warm up to 22 degrees with a little bit of clouds at noon. Still going to be mostly sunny at 6 p.m. at 25 degrees, and then back down to 15 at midnight, mostly clear. Taking a look at North Battleford tomorrow, they're going to be plenty warm, a high of 29 degrees, partly sunny, becoming windier and warm, so a real nice day in Saskatchewan. And then Cold Lake is going to be sitting at a high of 26, but they're going to be seeing some rain and a thunderstorm in the morning. Then it'll be breezy and warm with clouds, yielding to some sun later on in the day, a high 26, 75% chance of precipitation. We're going to see similar temperatures across the region. Meadow Lake is going to be all the way up to 29 with some rain there, but then 26 in Bonnyville with a bit of a morning shower or two, 26 in Provost, 27 in Isla Cross, and 28 in Paradise Hill. And then a little further away, we got rain in Pierceland at 27 degrees, but then everywhere else, it's still going to be plenty warm, 26 for Mirnam, 28 for Unity, 26 for Wainwright, and 23 for Calgary. Mostly sunny and some clouds down in Calgary. And then for our 7-day forecast, on Tuesday, it's going to be very similar to Monday. A little bit more breezy in the morning, though, 26 and a low of 11 is the same. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to see a 58% chance of rain there, coming an afternoon shower on Wednesday, and then a little bit warmer on Thursday at 22 degrees and a morning shower there, and lows of 7 and 8 there. And then on Friday, it's going to be partly sunny, a high of 25 degrees, so it's going to warm up once again later in the week. But we are seeing those rains coming on Wednesday and Thursday. So really nice look for the weekend, and then decent look for the rest of the week as well.
So it looks like summer lives on still. We're still seeing those nice temperatures.
Yeah.
Bit of rain, in the middle of the week there. But yeah, that's all the time we have today for Primetime Local News. Thanks for watching.